Artificial intelligence does not emerge outside society. It learns from the world we give it, including our hierarchies, our fears, our exclusions, and our prejudices. Welcome back to the Revolution Resolution. I'm Malaika Tubbs. Over the last several episodes, we've been talking about how technology is reshaping modern American patriarchy so that we are extremely clear about what we are facing. We talked about how social media amplifies fear, how algorithms reward outrage, how conspiracy theories spread faster than truth, and how online radicalization increasingly shapes real-world politics and violence. And now we are entering a moment where it is no longer only human beings reproducing the hierarchy. Machines are learning to reproduce it too. Toward the end of 2022, a new trend exploded across social media. People began uploading selfies into artificial intelligence apps, one called Lensa, which generated stylized fantasy portraits of them. Suddenly, timelines were filled with glowing avatars, people imagined as warriors, fairies, astronauts, superheroes, or futuristic characters. At first, it seemed playful, creative, harmless, but very quickly, patterns began emerging. Women noticed that the app often transformed them into hypersexualized versions of themselves, sometimes even generating nude or semi-nude images despite the fact that they had uploaded only regular headshots. Women were shown in seductive poses, revealing clothing and fantasy imagery that reflected narrow ideas of femininity and desirability. Women of Asian descent noticed the app often rendered them with hypersexualized, anime-inspired features. Muslim women found versions of themselves without hijabs, even when every uploaded image included one. People of color reported lighter skin, more Eurocentric features, and thinner noses and lips. Women across body types noticed the app making them dramatically thinner. Meanwhile, men were far more likely to appear as astronauts, leaders, scientists, or warriors. The app was not reflecting people as they actually were. It was reflecting the hierarchy back to them. And this is what we must understand clearly about artificial intelligence. AI does not invent values independently. It learns patterns from the world that already exists. In Erased, I write about how American patriarchy survives because hierarchy becomes embedded into institutions, media, culture, law, and everyday life until it feels natural. Now, those same patterns are becoming embedded into code. Because artificial intelligence systems are trained using massive amounts of existing human data. Images, language, media, search results, archives, and online behavior. And the internet itself is already saturated with sexism, racism, white supremacy, gender stereotypes, objectification, and exclusion. So when AI systems learn from the internet, they also learn the hierarchy. This is one of the reasons the current moment is so important. People often speak about artificial intelligence as though it is objective, rational, or free from human flaws. But artificial intelligence reflects the people, institutions, and systems shaping its development. And right now, those systems remain overwhelmingly dominated by a narrow group of people. Women hold only a small percentage of technology leadership roles. Black women and Latina women remain dramatically underrepresented in computing and AI. Women in tech continue reporting discrimination, harassment, pay inequity, and exclusion at high rates. And many eventually leave the field altogether because the environments themselves are so hostile. This matters deeply because the future is being built by the people allowed to shape it. And when industries become dominated by what many describe as bro culture, spaces rewarding domination, ego, competition, aggression, and exclusion, Those values often become embedded in the technologies themselves. But one of the most painful parts of this story is that technology was not always framed this way. Computer programming was once considered women's work. Women performed some of the earliest and most foundational coding in American history. Black women mathematicians helped shape NASA and the space race. Women helped build modern computing itself. But once the industry became profitable and culturally powerful, women were increasingly pushed out, underpaid, erased, and excluded. The story of technology was rewritten to center white men as its natural leaders. Again, we see the same pattern we have traced throughout this entire series. People marginalized from power help build systems and then are erased once those systems become valuable. And now we are watching artificial intelligence reproduce that same hierarchy at unprecedented scale, not only through beauty filters or fantasy avatars, but through hiring algorithms, search engines, recommendation systems, facial recognition, surveillance technologies, content moderation, and predictive systems increasingly shaping everyday life. This is why conversations about technology cannot be separated from conversations about justice, representation, power, and humanity. Because the question is no longer simply, what can technology do? The deeper question is, what kind of world is technology being trained to reproduce? If we do not interrupt the hierarchy now, we risk automating it into the future. So today, I want to leave you with the following questions. Who is currently shaping the technologies informing our future? What values are being embedded into the systems we increasingly rely on? And what becomes possible once we stop treating artificial intelligence as neutral and start recognizing it as a reflection of the world training it? I'll be back with more soon.